Bobby Nahum, East Call Street. I want to start out by thanking the school board members who spoke up at the last school board meeting pertaining to the importance of restoring some form of public access to the tracks. I think it's a step in the right direction, so I want to thank y'all for that. The tracks have been a real asset to the community for a long time and have contributed to our quality of life here in Tallahassee, and I fully believe that preserving public access to the tracks is a worthwhile effort. That's why I'm here. With that said, I don't believe the solution currently being explored of partnering with Gulf Winds Track Club to allow public access for only a few hours a week is a good solution. I do appreciate the thought and the effort, but it's much too restrictive, and too many in the community who previously had access to the tracks still won't be able to use them. If we are having an honest conversation, the only real issue that needs to be solved for restoring public access to the tracks is to figure out how to allow public access to the tracks while making sure the fields don't get damaged. Putting a fence around the fields on the inside of the tracks to keep the public off the fields would solve this issue. In addition to that, you guys could put up signs stating that the turf fields are not for public use, and you could also post signs that have a list of rules for the public to follow, much like you see at parks. And you could even put up cameras around the fields, which would deter people from getting on the fields, which I know at Leon they already have those. If we did this, we could return to unsupervised public use of the tracks outside of school hours when school athletes are not using the fields, just like we had for many decades. The argument being made about liability from public access is frankly a hollow talking point, y'all. It's not a real issue. The public had access to the tracks going back all the way to the 1960s, starting with Leon High School's track, and in all those years, it was never an issue. And all of a sudden, now we're being told that liability is an issue. It really makes no sense. If we had 60 years of no issues with liability when the public was using these tracks, it's not an issue. I don't believe that it is. And if I'm wrong, y'all can easily prove it. Y'all can do a LexisNexis search on your legal database, and you can show us the increase in lawsuits. Show me the receipts. So I got. And the same thing with vandalism. Vandalism was never an issue either. So, I don't really think we can use that as an issue either. Last meeting, Ms. Wood brought up a problem of trash being left at the schools. I would argue that the people who are using the tracks for exercise are not the ones leaving trash behind. I've run at the track for 20 years, every Sunday, like clockwork, at Leon, mainly at Leon, but also at Godby and Lincoln. I've never seen anybody using the track who misused the track or littered. Other than occasionally maybe a water bottle or somebody leaving a shirt behind. The majority of trash comes from students. I went to Leon from 2000 to 2004, and as a former student, I can attest it's kids going to and from their cars, and it's people at the games. So,
Time. Thank you for your comment.
thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Thank you. We appreciate everyone, and